Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Miss Fierce here from the Fierce Trade House. First of all, let me say happy Sunday. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. Where I'm at, the sun is out. It's really awesome. But I had to do this video, so that's why I'm back indoors. And yeah, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who trade. I hope you're having a blast. So that being said, this is the weekly analysis, and today I want to start with BTC. And only because obviously I do follow crypto, and I just like what I've been seeing. So this is my markings that I've had on BTC for a long time. If you watched any of my past videos on BTC analysis, this is how my chart has been looking, and I've just been adding annotations or comments. Okay, so what we are seeing is basically right now BTC is at 34K. Okay, now I remember like 2 weeks ago, somebody in the comments asked me to actually look at BTC and give them my bias, and I told them that I was bearish, and I have been bearish on BTC since November of last year. What we see has been happening is so I believe in 2020, was this in November, December 2020, BTC broke out and took out this external structure here and pushed up and went all the way up to 64K and then reversed. Okay, and then finally this 69K took out the 64K high. Now when this happened, so what we see here, there was this initial liquidity purge, and then we see price kind of retraced a bit and took out that high. Now when that happened, we saw a bearish formation on the next week. And from there, guys, I've been bearish. If you again check my analysis, you'll see that. And I had these markings, and I've been actually anticipating BTC to get back to the 31K, 29K, 28K levels. Okay. Now, obviously, in January this year, it then began to consolidate and look like it wants to push up. And that's understandable because we can see on the 24th, we took out liquidity. And once that happened, then this retracement was actually anticipated. And we can see we retraced for a couple of weeks, okay? I think 1 to 3 weeks. And then we retested, which is understandable again, and then took out the weekly highs, okay? Another liquidity purge there. We retested an order block, bumped into that, cleared imbalance, and then began to drop, okay? So this move here is looking really nice. Now, when I zoom in, I'm on the weekly time frame. So when I zoom in, I'm seeing, so first of all, there's this level here. So I'm just gonna add an extra level down here just to see where price broke out to the upside. So what we are seeing is we have a lot of liquidity below here. Okay, so technically that is where BTC is headed to for sure, 29K. Okay, especially after this manipulation up here, this is definitely targeting the liquidity levels at this, either at the 32K, we have the 29 and the 28K level, and possibly lower. So on the, I guess, long-term, near-term, mid-term, whatever you want to call it, but that's basically it. Now, like I said, we're in the weekly, so we've taken out the low of February, okay? So there's a there's a chance that we are going to literally push back up, okay? And try and just, we have imbalances up here. We have imbalances, I believe, on maybe a lower time frame, because again, we're in the weekly. But guys, just keep your eyes peeled for the 28K, 30K level. Okay, that's basically where we are headed to. So it's possibly going to maybe retrace and then continue on, but we are in very bearish structure. Okay, so all this in between here for me is noise. And that's why for the longest time, anybody asked me, what am I looking at for BTC? I have been extremely bearish. Okay, my bias has been bearish regardless of whatever is happening. So yeah, and it's nice to see that it's actually beginning to play out. So when I look at the daily, Again, we can see things a bit more clearer. So we see this swing low has kind of been taken out. There's this pending liquidity zone. There's, a very interesting, on the weekly, I marked it out. This is an imbalance here. So I'm just thinking, that's where we're headed, okay? So chances are that we may retrace back up, possibly to the 37K level, and then race for, the levels down below. So that's just my take on BTC. I'm still bearish. I'm not going to change anything here. I just want to see how it plays out. But even when you look at it here, we are seeing, if you trade Wyckoff and all that, this low possibly needs to be taken out for sure at some point. Anticipate that, okay? So literally from 64K, we've lost like, I guess, 50% of 50%. I'm not a mathematician, but we are 64, 33. Hey, we've lost about that 6K, right? So, but if you were selling from November or January, you are in good stead. Your account is looking good. Anyway, so that's BTC. That's my bias. Let's look at the indices, right? So I'm going to look at US 30. Last week was really aggressive. We had the whole interest rates story going on, and so let me see. So it's just been a bit messy. We're seeing a lot of wicks, a lot of volatility, huge moves, these huge, displacements happening, I guess, so a lot of things happening in the market for the indices. So we did close bearish. There was a bit of rejection, okay? We took out the 14th March low. And what I'm seeing up here is liquidity. I would not be surprised if we began to push up, okay? Because, technically we are still in bullish territory. We have kind of, we took out liquidity here, we pushed up, didn't quite, take out these highs here. But I have this feeling that we may want to do that at some point. But there is potential to just continue dropping, especially when we took out liquidity here. My take is that we are targeting these lows here. Okay, we are possibly targeting the lows below here. So, on the really, really, really long term, okay, the really long term. Near term, let me look at the daily. Daily usually is nice for. So on the daily, remember we have liquidity resting below here. We have some interesting levels. I would have loved to see this low close below this one. So potentially we may continue to just drop. Okay, we may just continue to drop, possibly retest this zone and continue. There's very, I'm seeing pretty bearish structure. We may continue to drop lower. I would actually like to see this low taken out, the 32,475 level, before we see the push up. But we have imbalances resting above. We have relatively equal highs resting above where there's liquidity. So there's room for price to push up. Let me look at the 1 hour. Yeah, and that's literally what I would be anticipating on the short term, for price to just, we've left a lot of imbalance up here, liquidity and all that. So I'm really just thinking we are going to go back all the way up, possibly clear out this high as well. this could just be a really nice area of manipulation, and this is a retest of possibly an order block on a lower time frame. And this pullback, so we may see a slight pullback, okay, back into this order block, and then we push up and then we come down. So that's basically what I'm looking at, guys. We have relatively equal lows below, so there's liquidity lying downside, but I want price to first take care of the upside. So push up and then push down, take care of that, and possibly go all the way to the weekly liquidity level. That's me on US30. I'm assuming NAS, which has become another favorite of mine, is looking similar. Exactly. So my bias on NAS is the same. I would really want to see price push up. We are at a supply level, but at the same time, I feel like we're kind of in an accumulation zone of sorts. So we are possibly, I'll want to take out this high. If we take out the 12,865 level, we're definitely going for the imbalances above and liquidity resting above here. If not, you may see some consolidation. Maybe we may even try to take out this low again, or maybe even the low of the 12.6, but I'm bullish on market open. Yeah, long-term bearish, short-term bullish. So let me look at a metal. Let me look at gold. I think most people trade gold. Now, as for gold and her people, let me go on the weekly and see what gold has been up to. So nice. See some liquidity upside, retest of imbalances. We are looking like, we are rejecting to the upside, so we are kind of beginning to push lower. I mean, there's a lot of things happening below here. We have taken out, this is a weekly, so we've taken out a low there. So I'm seeing again, just like, kind of like we pushed up. If I take my fib and I put it up there, this is like, I guess, an interesting zone. I'm just like, guys, I feel like we may as well push to the upside. Just hold on. Let me see something here. Yeah, so that's a 50%. I'm looking at it from the, I want to place it. So this is technically, we are in a discounted zone for a buy. So I'm going to anticipate gold is going to buy. Okay, let me look at the daily. Let me go to the daily. So let's go back here and let me go back to the daily. Daily. Why is it looking weird? Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I can be so pedantic about things. So yeah. So I'm thinking, actually, we have pushed up. There's a bit of rejection. I think I'll want price to continue to the upside. We do have an imbalance below, so actually we could first move below before we move up. So we do have this imbalance right about there. So there is potential to retest that level. Yeah, so that's kind of like the setup. This is a weekly imbalance. We do have a bit of an imbalance here on the daily as well. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 rejection. So we may come down tap into the imbalance. That would be nice. And then look for the buy all the way to possibly 1997. So yeah, that's gold. Long term, I'm bullish. Short term, I'm feeling like, just because of the way the previous daily candle closed, it's like, we're trying to move lower. We did close above the open of that candle, but this could just be, to get people to think, okay, we are buying, but then I would want to buy below that open of the previous daily there. So yeah. So yeah, I don't mind if we go down, take out liquidity lying below here. As you can see, guys, we have liquidity and we have an imbalance. So this is what I would be anticipating. I would be anticipating that maybe this would be the move, something like that. Okay. Maybe you could even end up filling that entire gap. Okay. But that's what I would be looking at. If not, I would only be thinking of buys if we actually take out the high at 1905. Then I'll be like, okay, I think now we're in buy territory, But with this previous Thursday candle, nah. So that's gold. Let's look at our GBP pair, GBP USD. GBP USD is giving me, wow, it's really been bearish. I think I'd set this up for, what am I seeing? We're at an order block. I anticipate some rejection there. Yeah, so I'm looking at, we really dropped aggressively. And let me see, we are in premium discount area. That's what I'm seeing. Very nice time to buy the market. So I'll be looking for buys. I'm not saying we buy immediately market opens, but once it's done doing its thing here, pushing lower and whatnot, and possibly wanting to take out liquidity at 2200 thereabouts, I think we should expect price to continue to move up. So I guess GBP, JPY is looking similar. And I think I've marked that out as well. This is the weekly. Bit of a rejection, pushed up, but then we closed bearish on that week. On the daily, yeah, there's some interesting, we have a bit of an imbalance there. Yeah, so I would like to see price push lower. We may see it push up first before we push down, but I'm looking at a short-term bearish move before we continue to buy. Yeah, so let me also look at euro pair, euro USD. Euro USD. Similar. I want us to push up. We have taken out liquidity. I want us to continue. I want us to take out, if we take out this high of 1.06186, I'm looking for buys to clear out imbalances above and possibly try and retarget the 1.09631 level at some point. Nearer term, maybe 1.0773. Yeah, or we could just consolidate before but whatever happens, I'm just like, be nice to see price continue to move back up. One last pair, USD JPY. I don't trade it much, but I know that last week, the DXY, the dollar has been rising. And I'd marked this out, and I still feel, I know this level here, I think this is an order block of sorts. I think that's why I put it there. Yeah, so we're so near it. I don't think we're just gonna drop. We took out liquidity here. We took out the high of 22nd of April. But I feel this gap needs to be filled. If we bump into that at 130, 131.627. I expect us to reject off of that zone and maybe even into the 50%, the halfway point of this order block, and then drop back to where price broke to the upside. So we see we took external liquidity structure here, broke through. So this is what I'm looking at. Price pushing up, retracing, maybe even lower to fill an imbalance below here, and then and then maybe continue down all the way down. So looking at a bit of manipulation and then a pullback on USD JPY. So guys, I hope this has been helpful. If you know somebody who's also a trader who would love to, take free analysis, please share my video, because sharing is caring. So that being said, I want to wish you all a fantastic Mother's Day, a fantastic rest of your weekend, and a fantastic trading week ahead. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.